Oh my days. Taph is out. Finally, a new survivor. I wonder if he's gonna be broken. Oh boy, this guy is really good. And if the killer doesn't kill Taph, then the killer is gonna have a really difficult time killing survivors. Get some music. So, Taph has two abilities, Tripwire and Subspace Trip Mine. If used correctly, these abilities can become really overpowered. Once a killer steps on a tripwire, his location will be revealed, and he gets slowness 1 for 5 seconds. And Subspace Trip Mine, well... this ability is brutal. Getting hit by a subspace trip mine gives you subspaced free and helpless. But the worst part is that your camera goes crazy. Your camera will move, which probably means you'll actually get farther from the survivor and not closer. And it's also harder to see because of subspaced free. And if you thought that was bad, his cooldowns are extremely short. So most of the time you're dealing with your camera being impossible to move and being blind. And remember, Tripwire can go really well with Subspace Trip Mine. And now you also have slowness because of the Tripwire. Me and my friend, That Pizza, tested Taph in a private server and he can get a lot of distance. The first thing we tested is dodging the Subspace Trip Mine. Trying to dodge will just give the survivor a lot of time to run and a lot of distance from you. The second thing we did is hiding the Subspace Trip Mine, which actually works really well. One of the reasons why is something I haven't mentioned yet. But if you hit a Subspace Trip Mine with a slash ability, the subspace effect will go from 3 to 1. Which makes moving your camera a lot easier compared to subspace free. But hiding your Subspace Trip Mine means the killer cannot react enough to the Subspace Trip Mine, so he cannot dodge it or slash it, unless he has light speed reaction. We then tested how much distance the survivor gets if you hit the Subspace Trip Mine. Subspace 1 doesn't actually make it that difficult to catch up to survivors, so it doesn't do much. Now let's talk about the tripwire. Once the killer steps on a tripwire, his location will be revealed to every single survivor, and he gets slowness 1 for 5 seconds. The killer steps in the tripwire, which gives the killer slowness 1, meaning I have enough time to use my Subspace Trip Mine. And now we go around the killer, he steps in the Subspace Trip Mine, and now we have plenty of time to run. I get another tripwire. One of my teammates already placed another Subspace Trip Mine, so I can get my tripwire, and then the combo is gonna work out really well. Killer steps in the Subspace Trip Mine, and steps in 2 tripwires. Yes, there was 2 tripwires. While I have enough distance, how about I throw a Subspace Trip Mine for my teammates? And it works. I think you can see why this character is so overpowered. Imagine a server with 8 Taphs, that'd be kinda insane. I should also explain how to actually use these abilities other than throwing it into the middle of nowhere. For Subspace Trip Mine, you want to put your Subspace Trip Mine around corners, or somewhere hidden enough so the killer doesn't see the Subspace Trip Mine. For Tripwire, you should place it anywhere that blocks a big part of the map. That means if the killers want to go through that area, they have to go through slowness 2. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, killers can break your tripwire. So, again, you should probably place your tripwire somewhere where killers can't see it properly. This one's for the killers, but you can actually use some of your ranged abilities to deactivate the traps. And that's all I'm gonna say about Taph. There's probably more stuff about Taph, but he is a new survivor, so...